Gaza, dire humanitarian situation, of course, beginning of for pieces of, or begging rather for pieces of bread for water. Besieged northern Gaza is a place for dead bodies lying in the streets and hospitals running out of blood marks, a situation that is nothing short of catastrophic, according to the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees. Our reporter Mamadi Bano has the details.
As Israeli forces continued assaults against the Palestinian population in the Gaza Strip. So far in November, every attempt by the UN to access besieged areas of North Gaza Governorate with food and health missions to support tens of thousands of people remaining there was either denied or impeded. Between 100,000 and 130,000 people have been displaced from North Gaza amidst intensification of attacks and Israeli evacuation orders. The Famine Review Committee has warned that famine thresholds may have already crossed in northern Gaza or else will be in the near future, urging actions within days. The majority sheltering displaced people continue to be attacked, with a total of 64 attacks against schools recorded in October, according to UNICEF. Access to healthcare across Gaza remains precarious, with partners of the UN Population Fund reporting a recent rise in premature births and maternal deaths. Addressing reporters in Geneva from central Gaza, UNRWA senior emergency officer Louis Watridge warned that amid losing famine in Gaza Strip as winter approaches, those forcibly displaced are sleeping on the floor in makeshift shelters surrounded by sewage. She stressed that the volume of aid currently entering the war-torn enclave is the lowest in months, with an average in October of only 37 trucks per day for the entire 2.2 million population.
There's a looming famine. We have winter approaching. You might be able to see behind me, the shelters that people have are completely insufficient. People here are really sheltering under any kind of fabric they can find. This is curtains, blankets, sheets. Nothing is waterproof, and people are sleeping on the floor. Sewage all around the shelters, and we are extremely concerned when the rains come to the Gaza Strip. What will happen to 500,000 people who are in areas of flooding? We receive testimonies from people on the ground begging for pieces of bread, for water. The United Nations remains denied access to this area. We have had very limited access to the besieged areas of the north over the last month. It's been over a month now. And, across the entire Gaza Strip, there's approximately 1.7 million people in October. That is 80% of the population who did not receive their monthly food rations.
The UN official further mentioned that food security experts from the UN Partners Integrated Phase Classification (ICP) Famine Review Committee issued an alert over imminent famine in areas within the northern Gaza Strip last week. As suffering continues to worsen, people are losing hope. She observes that this week, 2 missions to northern Gaza, which she was to take part in, were denied. The aim had been to deliver chlorine tablets and access the facilities of those shelters.
I have had 2 missions to the north that I was supposed to be on for WASH, for providing chlorine tablets and assessing facilities of those sheltering. These missions were denied. So the besieged north is becoming almost impossible and has been impossible. No one from Unrwa has been able to access the besieged north in over a month. What I can share with you is the pleas and the testimonies we've had from our own colleagues who are trapped there. We've also had pleas and testimonies from the doctors in the hospitals in the north. These hospitals have been bombed. The doctors inform us that they have run out of blood supplies. They have run out of medicine. There are reports that people are left in the street. They are abandoned. There are bodies in the streets. The ambulances have stopped functioning.
Israel bombardment from the air, land, and sea continues to be reported across the Gaza Strip, resulting in further civilian casualties, displacement, and destruction of civilian infrastructure. The 13 Israeli siege imposed since then has hindered humanitarian access to Jabalia, Beit Hanum, and Beit Lahia. At the same time, area has seen severe disruption in communication, including internet. On the 10th November, Israel military operations in Nuseirat refugee camp in Deir al-Balah intensified considerably, with people reportedly appealing to rescue teams to be evacuated following the sudden advancement of forces amidst heavy fire. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Mamadi.